So, good evening, folks, from still a cloudy Peterborough. Just attended the first day of the Moneymaker Summit, and we had Ryan Pinnock, brilliant presentation by Ryan Pinnock on his Super Genius system. Then we had Rob Moore come in and blow everyone's minds because it's Rob Moore. Super animated. Super energy from Rob, as always. And then Tony Gargan come in and did a really good presentation on money mindset. So, something Rob Moore was talking about that sort of made me think I should do this video. So, for those of you who don't know, I'm Nick Bauer. I'm the host of Efficiency and Property Investing podcast, as well as being a property investor, entrepreneur, etc. So, Rob was just talking about how you store wealth. And he went through the usual suspects: gold, property, but it's more of an asset, stocks and shares, etc. And then he was talking about things you don't think about, yourself, you. And that's what resonated with me. And you should be investing in yourself. Your education is so important. You never stop learning. Every day's a school day. But about storing wealth sort of hit something. I thought I'd just relate a story that happened to me when I first started out, to be honest with you. So I started out, hit the road running, had 3 properties completed within 3 months. 2 were rented out straight away. 1 was undergoing a refurb. Christmas come along. I got a 4th property in the pipeline. Sale agreed on it. We were just going through solicitors, quite a way through solicitors. And I was viewing more properties. And then the worst thing, well, one of the worst things that could happen, I was viewing an old Victorian property, which, if you don't know, Victorian properties have really, really steep staircases. We got to the top, and this particular property, there was no handrail, no landing at the top, so you either step up into one bedroom or step into the other bedroom, which is a 2-bed. So I stepped in the first bedroom, had a look round, yeah, it's fine. Stepped in the second, had a look round, stepped back. And the let agent goes, "Have you seen this?" I think I'd asked him where the loft hatch was, and it was in there. So I stepped in, had a look, stepped back, and there was nothing behind me to step onto. I'd stepped out into thin air, basically, because there was no landing, and proceeded to fall backwards and then slide backwards down the stairs, head first, on my back, till I hit the bottom with a bit of a crunch. And I think the only thing that saved me was a load of Coca-Cola bottles at the bottom, Pepsi Max bottles or something, plastic, and I ran into them, but I felt a big crunch in my back. And being male and stupid, I didn't go to hospital. I should have done. I went home. In fact, the viewing agent had to drive me home in my car because I couldn't drive. Anyway, the upshot was 36 hours later, paramedics turn up. I'm on a stretcher, ferried into hospital, and get bollocked by the registrar for not going to hospital straight away, get bollocked by the specialist for not going to the property straight away. Why didn't you go to hospital? Because I'm male. Stupid. And they went, "Oh yeah, but you should." Yeah, I got a really severe bollock and I deserved it. But I was so lucky, and the specialist told me, "You are so lucky," because basically you got, and the paramedics told me at the time, "So you are going to get blitzed. They're going to go in there because you've got a back injury. They will make a big fuss about it." And they did. And they x-rayed me, scanned me, whatever, and I was sitting on there, and and I tell you now, NHS is the best care ever. Don't let anyone tell you any different. They looked after me so well, and I'm ever so grateful for the care they gave me. So don't do our NHS down. They're doing a fantastic job. Anyway, I get to see the specialist, and he goes, "Do you know you are one of the luckiest persons I've ever met?" I said, "What do you mean?" So, "You've fractured, broken 4 vertebrae, 2 lumbar, 2 thoracic, but nothing's moved." So fracture means it's I suppose shattered is a better analogy, but it hasn't come apart. So it's got cracks in it, but it hasn't come apart. And I knocked a couple of nodules off the vertebrae as well. So yeah, not good. Anyway, so I was in hospital, luckily only overnight. They sent me back next morning with a back brace and a shitload of drugs for the pain, because I have never been in pain like this. It was horrendous. Anyway, because of my injury and the back brace and the super strong medication I was on, I couldn't drive. I couldn't turn my head anyway because my back was that sore. So I wasn't able to work. And then the deal that we had in the pipeline fell through, and I'm left with another one. I'm in the process of refurbing. I was doing the work myself at the time, so we couldn't finish the refurb. So I'm stuck. What do I do? Well, I could have sat there and just moped. And I thought, well, what the heck can I do? And I started thinking about, at the time, EPCs were becoming more of a thing. And people were talking about EPCs. Oh, I'll do some training on EPC. I couldn't sit down for long periods of time, and I couldn't stand up for long periods of time. I did this online training because it was all online training. So I did the training to be an EPC assessor and a retrofit assessor. And for me, yes, there was quite a significant financial, input on my behalf. But when you talk about storing wealth and storing knowledge and learning, I actually stored knowledge by investing in myself. So I was doing nothing else. I couldn't do anything else physically, and it gave me something to do in the downtime, in my recovery time. So I trained in both of these, became a qualified EPC assessor, a qualified retrofit assessor, whatever. And not so much to do assessments, but more to know how it works, I suppose, because knowledge is power. The more you know about a system, the easier it is to navigate around it and make sure you're doing the right thing. So I did all this and got a very good understanding of EPCs and energy efficiency and etc. and dug further and further into it. So I'm talking about, Rob Moore was talking about, storing your wealth in knowledge. That's how I did it when I couldn't work. I stored my wealth by doing this course, which gave me a very good insight into EPC assessments and how they were conducted at the time and how they changed over time. Which has been extremely useful. I do the odd EPC, but I didn't really do it for that. So I will do the odd EPC if someone twists my arm, but it was more to understand the process and understand what's available to get your properties to a better standard. And I thought I'd just share that because it would have been very easy for me to sit there and go, shit, what has happened to me, blah, blah, blah. But I made that decision that I wasn't going to sit around and mope. And I did that instead. And as soon as I was more mobile. My best friend, who's sadly no longer with us, said, I'll drive you around so I could still view properties. He said, and I'll work with you on the property you're doing. Now, my best friend was suffering. He was living with cancer at the time. And that's what he, ultimately succumbed to last year. But he said, no, I want to work with you. I want to help you. And you cannot buy friends like that. He was absolutely fantastic. He drove me around my car. We worked together, and we continued even after I recovered working together up until late the year before when he couldn't do it. Such a friend, and he was looking to take his pension, and he never got to take his pension. And we're talking about opportunity. You've got to, as well as being a super friend, and I could not have done, and I learned so much of him. I feel so sad that he never got a chance to enjoy his pension because he was always going to take it a year later. Just let it build a bit more, And he ended up not enjoying it. So hopefully it's an inspirational tale in that, don't give up just because some, circumstances are against you. Keep moving forward. Look for something to do. Opportunities are there to learn. You can store your wealth in knowledge. And it's made me a lot of money since then advising people on EPCs. Have I made their money back yet? Maybe not quite, but it's given me a superb insight for actually doing my own properties as well. So in that way, it's paid me back tenfold. And live for today. Today, it's not a practice run, this life. It's a real thing. So make sure you take some you time as well. Make sure you time to enjoy your life. Don't sit around thinking that everything's great and you'll be able to retire and so live for today, please. So I hope you find a little bit inspirational. I hope you get something out of it. Have a great evening and keep moving forward.